Ladies and gentlemen, the season hasn't even started and we are already struck with injury, bad luck. It's incredible. It's incredible the level of injuries that Chelsea Football Club has on a regular basis, season in, season out. Wesley Fofana is going to be out for the rest of the season. Has gone through a ACL surgery, which we'll go through, and already we've got the likes of Buddy Shield, who's in the recovery situation, and Reece James is sick as well. So it's not an ideal start. It's not an ideal start.
All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin.
All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. We've now finally got to the bottom of this particular story. Wesley Fofana injury update, ladies and gentlemen. He is going to be out for the rest of the season. This has been the breaking news all throughout today. Firstly, I do feel sad for him, for this particular defender, and I hope he recovers as quickly as possible and come back. He's a young defender. I'm pretty sure he'd be shattered. But I have to say, looking at it from a club's point of view, looking at it from a fan's point of view, it worries me. It worries me. This guy's injury record absolutely worries me. Obviously, we all know what happened when he was in Leicester. He broke his leg in a dangerous tackle, and it took him an entire season to recover from that. And then last season, we once again Leicester making money with all of these players that they just know when to let go of. I wasn't a massive advocate of getting Wesley Fofana. You guys would all know, if you had followed me since back then, that I wasn't chasing Wesley Fofana at all. I was looking at a whole heap of other different defenders. And I think we eventually stumbled upon Wesley Fofana after, reaching out for Koundé, reaching out for De Ligt and many other defenders. And then finally we thought that Wesley Fofana is the right person. And last season as well, Wesley Fofana, his knee, his hamstring, I believe as well. I'm pretty sure his knee was the big one, but he didn't play enough. He did not play enough, and the bits and pieces where he did play, there were certain games where he wasn't good enough. So this was meant to be a huge season for him. This was his first proper, season under at Chelsea Football Club under a proper manager like Pochettino, and here we have it. Here we have it, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to be out for the rest of the season, most likely. This is the latest in regards to his injury, ladies and gentlemen. Defender Wesley Fofana has undergone anterior cruciate ligament ACL reconstruction surgery. This is huge. This is huge. I mean, God knows how he's going to come back after this particular injury. We've seen how long it took Ben Chilwell to recover, and then how long it took him to adapt back in, and then he, ripped up his hamstring. Once you get this level of injury, it's a long way back. It's a long way back. The 22-year-old did not travel to America for the club's preseason tour due to specialist medical assessment, which unfortunately confirmed that an operation would be required. Wesley will now begin his recovery and work with the club's medical department at Cobham during his rehabilitation phase. Some were saying that apparently, I don't know exactly when this happened. Did it happen during training sessions? Some were saying that he potentially had this even before coming into the preseason. So I don't know. I don't know exactly what incident flared this rupture of the ACL. But the bottom line is, ladies and gentlemen, Wesley Fofana is going to be out for the rest of the season. This is what Pochettino had to say. Pochettino, by the way, had a press conference earlier today as well, so we'll touch up on some of the things that he said. Some really nice and important, and also morale boosting, confidence boosting stuff as well. So we want to touch on that. Poch, on Wesley Fofana, it's really sad. It is really bad news. Yes, we really all feel so sad. What we can do is to help him to be again with the team. We wish him all the best. Now, look, I don't know what it means for Wesley Fofana's career at Chelsea Football Club down the track. Already last season was abysmal, start for not just for him, but for everyone else. This season, he's not going to be part of this season. I would be very shocked if he makes a comeback. I think he's going to be out for the rest of the season. where does it leave? Where does it leave next season? In what sort of form is he going to come back? Potentially, I don't know. This is a good idea that we've got those partner clubs like Strasbourg. Maybe he needs to go out on a loan just to find his feet once he comes back. But we'll see. There's a long way to go. We'll see exactly how it all pans out. But the biggest conversation off the back of this, ladies and gentlemen, is in regards to whether we need a particular defender or not in this window. I've already told you guys in my previous live stream earlier on today that I don't think it's a necessity. It's necessary to get a centre back in this particular window. I think you've got someone like Chalobah who's ready to take that particular chance, and even then, we've got Lewa Colwell and Thiago Silva who's potentially going to start for us. Don't forget, it's only one game a week, and Buddy Shield hopefully will be coming back very soon from the start of the season. I know he won't be ready, but he's another player who should be back very, very soon. A little bit more about this particular injury from Wesley Fofana. Medical sources inside Chelsea state that Fofana's injury is very serious. We're looking at multiple months out and possibly the entire season. The source said it's thought that Fofana injury does not affect Trevor Chalobah's move away from club. So this is the crazy part. Apparently, it doesn't affect. So we will still be open to selling Chalobah, which makes zero sense to me. And this is what I want to have a conversation about very, very soon. Let's just cover this entire story first. Chelsea's position on Lewa Colwell was the same during the last months, not for sale, not available for any other club, even more so now. And this is what Fabrizio Romano is saying. Like, if there was any sort of doubt whether Lewa Colwell will leave, I think Chelsea needs to absolutely squash that and put that to bed, that Lewa Colwell, there is no way he's leaving Chelsea Football Club. Here's a new contract. Lewa, you're staying. After Fofana's injury, the message from Chelsea is exactly the same and even stronger. He's 100% staying. New deal will be offered, discussed again. This is from Fabrizio Romano. Chelsea will explore the centre-backs market in the next days, weeks after Wesley Fofana's injury, only acting if they find the right option. Chelsea will look into it after improving the bid for Moses Caicedo. No changes on Chelsea's stance about Lewa Colwell not for sale. Okay, let's talk about this now. Let's talk about this Wesley Fofana conundrum that we find ourselves in, ladies and gentlemen. Look. Right now, this is the scenario. We've got Thiago Silva. We've got Lewa Colwell. Lewa Colwell's not leaving, so we can stop worrying about that. For me, I'm not even entertaining that discussion anymore. Whatever doubts Lewa Colwell has, let's try and sort that out, Chelsea Football Club, and make sure he signs the new contract, make sure he stays. So we've got Thiago Silva, we've got Lewa Colwell, we've got Chalobah, and we've got Buddy Shield hopefully coming back very, very soon. Won't be match fit, but he will be coming back very, very soon. We were told not that long ago, Mauricio Pochettino only wanted 4 CBs anyway. So if Wesley Fofana was fit, Chalobah would have been sold. I'm a bit baffled as to why Chalobah is still being touted to potentially leave if there is a good offer, even though Wesley Fofana is injured. Apparently, it doesn't impact the situation. I'm a bit baffled. I would give Chalobah a chance. I honestly would give Chalobah a chance. And I know a lot of you guys are a little bit annoyed about this. I don't understand it. Like, Chalobah, if you guys remember his breakthrough season under Thomas Tuchel, this guy's a very, very good defender. Right? Just recall some of your, recall your memory and think about some of those matches that he played. The Super Cup against Villarreal. There was a Brentford game. There was many other games where he was so good. He scores goals as well. That firecracker against Crystal Palace. Chalobah, for me, look, I'm not going to lie. Obviously, even under Thomas Tuchel that first season, when he came back after the injury, he was a little bit shaky, and then he lost his place under Thomas Tuchel. But overall, if you give him consistent games, he will showcase that he's a very, very good defender. Having said that, and I know last season he was shaky, and a lot of people will say that last season he was shaky, but once again, last season was a poor season all up, right? Let's not just look at last season. Consistency. Give him consistent games, he will be good. Having said that about consistency, I still think Lewa Colwell and Thiago Silva will be our starting CBs. And we only have one game a week, ladies and gentlemen. One game. If people are saying that Thiago Silva is incapable of playing one game a week, I mean, he's going to be the club captain. Most likely he's going to be the club captain. I find it very difficult to imagine that our club captain won't feature often enough. Like, I fully expect Thiago Silva to play every single game when it's one game a week. I understand he's 38. I get it. He's old, but one game a week with his fitness that he's shown already at this age, I think that's quite capable. Now, I get it. If he gets injured, then what? But then you have someone like Chalobah. You still have Buddy Shield. I still believe in this window, it's not necessary to get another CB. Let's not waste our energy, waste our money to find a CB in this window. Not every little bits and pieces needs to be fixed this window. Like, we can barely even get the Caicedo deal done. Forget about getting a CB and midfielder and all of this other stuff, right? So for me, look, I'm quite content with what we have. Yes, it is a bit of a setback with the Wesley Fofana situation, but this is where someone like Chalobah, the fortune turns for him, and I hope he can be, someone that we can call upon if need be. For me, at the moment, Thiago Silva and Lewan Colwell will potentially start. And a lot of people will be worried that, well, how do we play a high line with Thiago Silva? Please, ladies and gentlemen, every season you say all of this negative stuff about Thiago Silva, how he's not fast, how he's not agile, this, that, the other. And every season he proves that he's the best defender that we have. How many times have we seen Thiago Silva last-ditch tackle, line, off the line saves, to protect a goal from being happening? Time in, time out, we've seen Thiago Silva showcase that. People tend to think he's declining, but he's not. He's not. He's more than determined to still continue in the highest standard. So look, I'm not one bit worried to roll the dice with what we have at the moment. And if truly need be, then we'll look into the market in January. For me, I think let's not waste time now to find a CB. That's my opinion on it. Let me know, ladies and gentlemen, in the comment section how you feel about it. Would you go for a CB now, considering all the other aspects that we need to look at first, or are you okay to wait for the CB? Let me know in the comment section. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, let's go through this Ben Jacobs thread. Ben Jacobs comes up with amazing threads. This one's actually pretty good in regards to Caicedo deal, which kind of gives us the entire story of where the situation's at. Chelsea's latest verbal offer for Moses Caicedo was 70 million guaranteed, and it's understood 5 million in add-ons was discussed. It's been indicated this won't be accepted, albeit the offer could yet provide a basic framework for a deal. So 70 million plus 5 million in add-ons, that's been categorically dismissed by Brighton. And now we're going to potentially come back with more. Look, fine. I see what Chelsea's trying to do. They're just, they're testing the waters with Brighton and then just slowly building it up. I think eventually we'll hit that 80 million, and that might be the final sort of figure. If after that Brighton don't break, then I'm worried. Because I don't think Chelsea want to go any more than 80 million guaranteed and maybe 5 million in add-ons, max 80 million guaranteed or 85 million guaranteed with 5 million add-ons to take it up to 90. But there is no way I get the indication that Chelsea will get to that 100 million, which I think Brighton probably wants. Caicedo camp will now insist on a move, reiterating Brighton must keep their word when he signed a new deal and let him leave for what they consider to be a reasonable bid. A total package of 80 million is viewed as more than fair by sources close to Caicedo and CFC, not far off this. So there's a few things we need to understand this. Sources close to Caicedo. This is not sources close to Brighton. Sources close to Caicedo, as in his agents, think 80 million is more than fair. And this is why I think the frustration of Caicedo is coming into play. And this is why there's been reports that Caicedo is unhappy, because Chelsea will eventually get to 80 million, but will Brighton accept that? That's the thing. And Caicedo's camp is saying, I stuck around in January. Like, don't fool around with me anymore. I need to go. I want to go to Chelsea Football Club. 80 million is more than fair. Take it. But Brighton could prove to be very, very, staunch on their stance. This is a little bit from Moses Caicedo's side. Sources close to the player also admit Caicedo feels disrespected and that he believes he should be sold for what is the club record fee. This point will be reiterated directly to Brighton today. Brighton still haven't explicitly told Chelsea they want 100 million or more, even though sources often hinted at this number. But Brighton are tough and expert negotiators. They got maximum value out of Chelsea from Marc Cucurella. Their perspective is that Caicedo's value is protected following his new deal and that his form and long-term potential warrants a high number. There you go. Like Brighton, they're saying that he signed a new contract, so his value is protected, and his form and long-term potential warrants a higher number. So everything is going towards Brighton's way at the moment. Understand, Brighton would be more flexible if Chelsea offered Levi Colwill. See, this needs to disappear. Like, Brighton needs to understand Levi Colwill is not going to be part of the conversation at all. We're in trouble with CB positions. One more CB goes, and then we're done. We have to go into the market. If we do end up selling Levi Colwill to Brighton to sweeten this deal, we have to go to the market and get something done. And I think that would be ridiculously stupid to do that. So for Brighton to think that we will potentially include Levi Colwill in this deal, no, that's not going to happen. Understand, Brighton would be more flexible if Chelsea offered Levi Colwill as part of the deal, but CFC's position remains he is not for sale. Brighton know Caicedo wants the move, and they don't have another active suitor, unlike West Ham and Declan Rice, to create a bidding war. That's why Chelsea are sticking to their position, and things have moved slow, a big few days ahead. This is why this makes sense, because there isn't like a Man United or Man City, bothering us in this situation. We are taking our time, and we want to ensure that Brighton submit to our, jurisdiction as opposed to playing under their, criteria, which we don't want to. So this is why it's going slow, but I understand. Like, Chelsea has a set price, which is probably around the 80 million. They're slowly building up to it. And we probably won't go beyond that. So this is where it's standing at the moment, ladies and gentlemen, in regards to Caicedo. I am somewhat getting worried now in the sense that what happens if Brighton just goes, because our next bid will potentially be the fourth bid, and I'm worried that if the fourth bid is our final bid, which potentially could be about 80 million guaranteed or 85 million guaranteed, 5 million add-ons, or 80 million guaranteed and 5 million add-ons to get it to 85. And if Brighton says no to that, I'm worried that we may just walk away. Like, we're so neck deep and we want this particular player. But this is where the player probably needs to push Brighton Football Club from here on in and say, look, the player needs to put pressure, probably even needs to submit a transfer request. Caicedo is right. Like, he's done everything possible in this scenario to please Brighton, and Brighton, they want to squeeze out as much as money out of us. But my man, this is a good deal. This is a very, very good deal for Caicedo. Chelsea are still within their budget, but want a deal done for less than 80 million. They insist they will look at other options, but Caicedo is their priority. Senior figures will hold talks before Saturday's game between the sides. So after Wrexham, we've got Brighton coming up, and Chelsea are still within their budget, but want a deal done for less than 80 million. I think we will get to 80 million. I don't think it will be done less than 80 million. I think less than 80 million is probably not fair value. At least 80 million guaranteed fee, as Brighton camp has said. Sorry, as Caicedo's camp has said. That's a respectful price. That's a decent enough price. That's probably fair value for Caicedo. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's see, man. This is honestly now dragging out way too long. We're trying to get a deal, of course, and Brighton trying to squeeze out as much as money, but the person in between, which is Caicedo, is just getting unhappy and frustrated at the moment. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, sources have suggested Chelsea could end up paying. Okay, this is a little bit more about Caicedo. Sources have suggested Chelsea could end up paying Brighton near 100 with add-ons, with the main portion around 80 million. We'll see. This is coming from Jacob Steinberg. Brighton have pointed out Chelsea breaking the transfer record for Enzo Fernandez and the fee West Ham got for Rice. So they're comparing. They're saying that, look at what you guys did with Enzo, and look at what Arsenal's done with Declan Rice. But just because those things have happened, that doesn't mean that now that is the norm and we should carry on like that. That's not the case. I don't think we're going to reach 100 million, but let's see. Maybe with add-ons, maybe 80 million and then 20 million in add-ons. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, Romelu Lukaku. Inter fans, Curva Nord statement. Like Inter fans, they're ultras. I'm worried for Romelu Lukaku, man. I don't understand why this guy wants to stick around in Serie A. This guy, I'm worried for his well-being. I'm worried that if he's seen in the streets, like things will go off. Juventus fans have already showcased exactly how they feel about Romelu Lukaku, and now Inter Milan fans, check this out. Never see each other again, Lukaku. You have betrayed all of us. We always defended you in difficult moments. Now you give us a stab. You are selling yourself to the highest bidder after kissing our badge. You're not a real man. Oh my God, brother, go to Saudi Arabia. Straight up, go to Saudi Arabia. You're not safe. You're not safe in Italy. Spurs have held talks over signing Conor Gallagher. West Ham are also in the race. Look, get this done. Get this done. I think this is best for the player, best for our football club, and hopefully we can then invest our money on a different midfielder that we think is more suitable for our cause. Chelsea's talent Omari Hutchinson in concrete and advanced talks to join Ipswich Town on loan as called by the Chelsea Spot. Conversation will continue this week amid interest for several clubs. Some of you guys were saying, what's the plan with Omari Hutchinson? Well, there you go, Ipswich Town. I don't even know if are they a championship team. I hope they're a championship team at least. I think it will be disrespectful if it's anything less than that. This is probably right. He needs a loan to showcase his talent and develop. At Chelsea, there is no scope at the moment. Perhaps could have gone to Strasbourg, but I think it's just as good to go to a championship team. And let's see what happens. Kill it in the championship, develop, assist, score goals, work hard, and then see what happens next season. But yeah, I fear for a player like Omari Hutchinson that there may not be any plans for him in Chelsea Football Club, and maybe down the track we're just going to sell him for a profit, and that might be the go. But you never know. If he does well, maybe there's a spot for him at Chelsea Football Club. We'll see. Maurizio Pochettino started working on tactics at Cobham. He's favouring 4-2-3-1 formation, and he's looking to adopt a high press and employ a creative 10 behind the main striker. This is exactly what I was predicting as well with Maurizio Pochettino. So this isn't news to us at all. This is coming from the Athletic. 4-2-3-1 formation, high press, creative number 10 behind. This is why we've got Nkunku. We're looking at Ryan Cherki. Striker situation. Are we happy with Nicholas Jackson? Armando Broja obviously not part of the preseason tour. So where does that leave him? We could potentially look for a striker, but I'm not one bit surprised by this principle and philosophy of Maurizio Pochettino. This is exactly what I expected, and I hope we start seeing this being portrayed in these preseason matches. To help build stronger bonds, squad members have been instructed not to sit in the same group every day. It is designed to stop cliques from forming and making everyone more together. Yeah, it makes sense. I find it strange that why would these players, just mingle with everyone? Why would you want to just have your own little group and just sit there only? Like, this isn't school. This is a squad. You're all together. So no, this is good approach from Maurizio Pochettino, 100%. Pochettino says no game is a friendly when you're at a club like Chelsea. They're all official. I don't know about you guys, ladies and gentlemen, and let me know in the comments. I'm taking each one of these preseason games very seriously. This is not some sort of a let's just muck about and then this is a holiday in USA. No. Last season was a holiday, the entire season, from preseason till the end. This season, no holiday. Every game is serious. I want every player to take this seriously and take their opportunity to showcase what they can bring for us in the upcoming season. We don't start being serious now, then the first game against Liverpool, you best believe we are going to get walloped. It's mindset. So for me, every game is very, very important. All right, now, last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, I thought I'll go through some of the comments from the press conference from Pochettino earlier today, just to showcase what's going on. But before we do that, let's see if there's any more latest news that's popped by. 13 minutes ago, Chelsea hope to conclude a deal quickly for Eli Wahi. They would send him to Strasbourg before joining Chelsea in 2024-25. There you go, Eli Wahi. Potentially that might happen. We'll talk about that down the track a lot more. Yeah, but Strasbourg, Patrick Vieira will probably appreciate, players coming his way. The boss, look at that, man, looking sharp. Maurizio Pochettino. Enzo Fernandez in the house, ladies and gentlemen. He has joined the squad. Pochettino arriving earlier. Look at that bus, man. That bus looks epic, man. Amazing US tour. Chelsea bus looks fantastic. Angela and Enzo. Angela Gabriel potentially is going to go out on a loan as well. Colwell and Jesus Perez. Colwell looking very happy. Colwell ain't going nowhere. He's staying at Chelsea Football Club. Enzo Fernandez is here, ladies and gentlemen. Nice picture. Let's have a look at some of the comments from Pochettino. Cucurella, this is what he said about Moses Caicedo. I think he wants to come here. I've read in the media lots of time. I have a good relationship with him. He's a good midfielder, and he comes. I think we have a top midfielder for a long time. So look, it's open secret that he wants to join Chelsea Football Club. Everyone knows this. That's why no other club are trying to come and intervene here. It's just a matter of just finding that solution with Brighton now. Let's just get this done and dusted, man. Mark Cucurella, I want to stay at Chelsea. I'm very happy here. It was not an easy season. When you arrive at a big club, you feel pressure, and when the results don't arrive, you feel more pressure. This is part of life. We learn to improve. I've said it all along last season and even the start of this particular preseason. I still believe in Mark Cucurella, man. I've seen the kind of player he is, and I'm not going to forget what I saw in Brighton, and I fully expect him to deliver this season. It would be a massive shock if we were to sell him or part ways with him this transfer window, and he doesn't want to leave either. I think someone like Pochettino will be, will benefit from having a player like Mark Cucurella. But it'll be interesting to see exactly how it all pans out. Chilwell, Cucurella, Martson. There's a lot of options. Lewis Hall as well on the left side. Pochettino talks about. So we'll see who wins. We run a lot. We do double sessions. You see your teammates suffer in pain and run a lot, and this creates good relationships. So it's all looking good. It's all looking very, very good. Pochettino on if he needs more experience. Depends. Some of you guys have been screaming for this. Means we don't have enough experience. This is what Pochettino had to say. Depends. It's not fair. Sometimes it's about the balance. Tomorrow will be a good chance for the young guys to show and prove they are ready to play for a football club like us. It is about the balance. I still think there is somewhat experience in the team. Thiago Silva, wealth of experience. Someone like Sterling, lots of experience as well. As much as we don't think too much about Kepa, some of you guys, rate him as well. I feel a bit iffy, but there's experience there as well with Kepa. Enzo Fernandez, even though he's young, World Cup champion, there's experience there. There's still some form of experience all throughout the team, man. So it's all doom and gloom that we have in Reece James as well. I know he's injured, but he's now been at Chelsea Football Club for several seasons. So there's definitely some experience there too. So yeah, look, some of these players will have to build up to that. Chilwell, another one, leader for me. So some new players will have to slowly build up and potentially become down the track leaders as well. Pochettino and transfer signings, I want the right profiles to come in and improve the squad as soon as possible is better than later, but we need to work really hard for the target we have arrived today is better than tomorrow, but we know it's difficult. In regards to Levi Colwell, ladies and gentlemen, we were talking, we had a nice chat, but it is private what we talked, but it is important that they know us, know what we want. Think the competition is going to be tough, but they can earn the chance to be in the starting 11. They understood all this is clear. So look, I think Pochettino and Levi Colwell has a nice conversation, and potentially we'll see Levi Colwell sign up the new contract with Chelsea Football Club. I spoke with Mudryk while he was in Barcelona, and we exchanged messages. He's really good kid, a young boy with amazing potential. What we need to earn is trust and confidence in us. Pochettino, in regards to left backs, I want to see Lewis Hall and Ian Martin, Mark Cucurella, and Ben Chilwell. So look, there's a lot that's going on, ladies and gentlemen. As I said, some really nice comments in regard from Pochettino in regards to how the preseason is working out. Let me know, ladies and gentlemen, in the comment section how you felt about everything we talked about, most specifically in regards to Wesley Fofana, and then, of course, in regards to Caicedo as well. In the comment section, let me know. Smash the like button if you're here for the first time. Subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Until next time, see ya.